Let's go sew up a pig, Charles.
On this episode of The Incredible Dr. Pol,
You need a hat.
a dangerous polar vortex descends.
Holy Moses.
I want heat.
Welcome to Polar Wonderland here.
Neither pasture livestock nor their newborns are equipped to fight the Arctic conditions.
You may lose one more of these calves.
But these vets
She froze one tip of one teeth. Holy crap.
won't leave them out in the cold.
You don't know how much I enjoy this.
Meet Dr. Jan Pol. He's a local legend with over 19,000 clients and a team that does whatever it takes. "37 miles down, 28 to go. Dr. Pol is on a mission.
Randy Sheehan lives over 60 miles away, and he has a heifer that is trying to have a calf.
I reached in and I feel the legs, but I can't feel the head.
March kicks off birthing season. Winter should be on its way out, and babies on the way in. Instead, Michigan is in the icy grip of a freak weather phenomenon known as the polar vortex.
You fed it for 2 years just to have this first calf, and you know, in summertime it's pasture, which was a lot more economical, but not in the wintertime. You got to feed them hay.
After a long winter paying for feed, Randy is in danger of losing his entire investment.
To say no in a case like this guy would lose the calf, he would lose the cow. He's out $2,000. And that doesn't go for me, so, we'll run up there.
We'd like to save her. We'd like to save the calf too, but whatever we can.
How tame is she?
Probably not very tame.
Come on! Thank you. Okay, tail it up. I'll put my hand up her butt and see what we can find. That's one heck of a big calf. Oh my goodness.
The calf is large, and in its current position, the heifer cannot give birth on her own.
The main thing here was that the head was down. Now, lady, quit pushing.
Dr. Pol first needs to align the calf's head.
The challenge is to get the legs straight, but also get the head in the right position to where it can come out.
Can you feel the head?
Oh yeah, I got it already, almost up. Got the head up pretty quick, except then I couldn't get the head in the pelvis because it was a big calf and a small heifer.
Twist the calf.
I'm going to put a trainer on the head.
Pull it out.
Think it's alive yet?
I don't know. Okay, now pull on the legs. Now the head. Ow! Hold it! My finger's in between. Okay, pull the head. Pull. Now. There it is. Pull. Pull. Deep, man. Everybody's huffing and a puffing, blow the house down, and it didn't work.
Dr. Pol can't get the calf out without more leverage.
We can lay it on if she wants to. Good. Okay, pull it. Get the puller. Okay.
It's very important that everything's positioned correctly before you hook up that calf puller. You can do a lot of damage. You can kill the calf, you can kill the cow.
Go farther that way. No! I am. Okay, couple guys with hooks on this.
Yeah.
2 guys. Pull. Pull. It's coming. Slowly. Get a pail of cold water.
Yeah.
Now I'm really in a hurry trying to get this thing out.
Come on. There it goes.
Good. Yeah, pull it out. Holy cow. What a monster. Come on, buddy.
Best thing we can do for the calf right now is clear its airways and really try to force it to fight.
Grab behind legs, Charles. Holy cow! Down. Yeah.
Wants to, yeah.
Yeah. He is breathing.
The calf is alive.
Doing better.
You know, we're done. Mother's got to take over.
Turn around, get busy. Now she'd better get up and start to work cleaning up the calf and keep stimulating it to breathe and work better. That's it, that's it. You know, you live one heck of a long ways away, but this is worth it.
Yeah.
You don't know how much I enjoy this.
When Doc finally gets a good look at the newborn, he thinks he knows the reason why this delivery was so hard.
That bull calf is probably 20 pounds heavier than what it should be. It's been so cold this winter that they eat trying to stay warm. And some of that nourishment goes to the calf too. I think this is what's happening this winter because we have had a bunch of big calves pulled already. Nice meeting you.
Yep, thank you.
Take care. I'm glad that we got a live calf. At least, you know, now he has something that he can raise and sell later on.
Dr. Pohl did a tremendous job. Calf's alive, which we know none of us thought that was going to happen, and did.
Minute 1201, I have Dale Leonard on the phone wanting a ETA.
If it was a helicopter, I'd be there in 15 minutes.
Even for Michigan, it's been one of the most brutal winters on record.
This snow should be thawing by now. It shouldn't be negative 13 in the beginning of March.
The Arctic air from the polar vortex is wreaking havoc on local businesses. Pohl Clinic is no exception.
We have to worry about pipes freezing, and, you know, just everybody's in a bad mood. It stinks.
This winter has been so cold, especially with the door going open all the time. So I figured we had to do something out there in the waiting room to try to warm it up a little bit.
Gotta see fireplace.
Good idea.
Nothing like a little fake fire to warm the spirits, the cockles of our hearts.
It does put out a lot of heat.
Yeah, right. It looks to me like it has to be put together. Well, Charles, I think that will be your job for the day.
You go out, you buy a heater, you bring it in. It's never enough these days. I hate putting crap together.
Do I need to read the instructions for you today, or do you think you can handle it?
No, I got it.
Some of the patients aren't too thrilled with the chilly waiting room either, including Misty the cat.
Misty's our Florida cat. Full name is Canadian Mist, but I shorten it to Misty Lou.
For years, life was one lazy, sunny dream for Misty Lou.
Misty Lou's life in Florida was a lot of basking in the sunshine and chasing lizards.
But then Misty Lou's owners betrayed her. They moved to Michigan.
She will not go outside. She will not go near the snow. She looks out the window like she's waiting for the spring to come.
Life for Misty Lou is now misty indeed, and dark, and very, very cold.
Every year she gets a cold. She just hates it here. So we thought we better bring her in, get her checked out.
So what's going on with her today?
Generally, she gets a cold every winter, but this seems to be a little bit more. But I'm worried it's something else.
He's your baby.
If there's one place that Misty hates more than Michigan, it's a vet's office in Michigan.
Misty becomes feral when you bring her into a vet. Growls constantly. We'll claw you to death.
She hasn't taken a swipe at anybody. Stop. She hasn't bitten anybody, but that's going to be next.
Easy, easy,
Okay, I'll
easy.
hold her. We're good. I know. You're not happy about this at all. When I'm looking at Misty, I'm seeing a lot of discharge from the nose and from the eyes. The lungs sound pretty clear, so I don't think we've gotten to the pneumonia stage.
Freezing temperatures are just part of Misty's woes.
Is she indoor or outdoor?
It's winter outside. She will not go out.
Welcome to Polar Wonderland here.
Yes, absolutely.
The problem she's having is she's in the house with the furnace and the heater, and that's probably drying out her respiratory tracts. She's running a bit of a temperature, which tells me we probably have a bacterial component. So we're going to put her on antibiotics.
Okay.
Misty Lou is not very happy about having medications. Stop. So to help make sure no one gets injured, is we're going to turn Misty into sort of a cat burrito. We're going to use a towel or a heavy blanket to put her in and wrap her tightly. So I tip her face up towards the ceiling because that opens her mouth a little bit, and then you can cram the dropper in. I don't know, she's still talking. I think Misty will recover from the cold. I think it's going to depend on how well they're able to get medication in her.
In the end, there's really only one thing that's gonna make Misty feel better.
I know Misty would like to go back to Florida to get away from the snow and be back in the sunshine and chasing lizards. I know I would be happier down there with it.
Charles, aren't you done yet?
Almost. What are you doing?
You gotta put the holes.
I know what you gotta do. I'm just saying, let's tip it up. We put that on backwards.
Why? I hope once we get it all together that it's going to work all right. We'll wait and see when we plug it in and turn it on.
How many idiots does it take to put together a fireplace?
Watch who you're calling an idiot, Charles.
As Pole Clinic shuts down for the night, an emergency call comes in from longtime client Joe Crawford.
Suddenly the phone rings and Joe says that one of his pigs, the pig named Shirley, has a big laceration on her butt. Lacerations heal up a lot better if you get there soon. So no, I don't want to wait till tomorrow morning. I'll do it tonight. Okay, got the lights out downstairs. Let's go sew up a pig, Charles.
Shirley isn't just any pig. She's a breeder for piglets for the local 4-H program.
A lot of the farmers got out of raising hogs because they could sell their corn and make more money and have less work. So I got involved with the show hog industry and do our best every year to provide good pigs for these kids to show.
Shirley's injury couldn't come at a worse time. The spring 4-H competition season is just around the corner.
I've never seen any of my pigs lacerated this bad before. This was pretty severe.
Okay, let's see how bad it is. Watch the ice.
Jeez.
Oh, that takes one heck of a lot of anesthetic for this one.
She's a ham. That's the ham right there.
Joe Crawford is a small pig farmer who sells a lot of pigs to the 4-H kids. So his pigs are very special.
Tonight, Dr. Pole has made an emergency visit because Shirley, one of Joe's prized sows, suffered a deep cut on her rump. It appears things may have gotten a little rough and tumble in the pig pen.
It looks like she caught it on something.
Pig fight! Probably Shirley got fighting with her and got chased through the pen. It looked like she hooked herself on a nail sticking out of the wall someplace. Pig fight!
The wound is large and susceptible to any barnyard infection.
Hey!
Dr. Pole needs to stitch it closed right away.
Don't touch it too much. I hated to give this pig a general anesthetic for this little cut, so I put some local in there.
The local anesthetic takes hold, and Dr. Pole begins to sew up the gash.
Man alive, what a hide. Can't even get a brand new needle through here.
But this pig's hide is proving way too tough.
Hang on.
Got thick skin, Dr.
Oh
Paul.
my gosh.
This job requires a bigger, sharper needle.
I had a brand new needle and I couldn't even push it through. So I had to go to my DA needle that had to go a little deeper, and that's why she was protesting a little bit. It's big. They scream bloody murder all the time. So one more time, guys. Hold it, almost done. Done. We're done, sweetie. We're done. We're done. Gosh. We only had to put 3 stitches in there, and Shirley will heal up, most likely without a scar. And you could see she forgave everything. Hi, sweetie. I love you too. I like your pigs.
Thank you.
They look good.
Shirley will get to cheer on her piglets on the 4-H circuit this spring, after all.
We'll see you there.
Okay, Doc.
Good
Thanks.
night, guys.
I was very happy. I thought it went very well, and it looks very good. I'm very pleased with what Dr. Pohl did.
Okay, we're gonna go in, okay?
Today, Matt and his daughter Olivia have brought in the 2 newest members of their family.
We come to see Dr. Pohl today because our puppies need their shots. Also, one of them got under my feet yesterday morning, and I stepped on the other one when I come down. Not a good deal.
Zoe and Ruby.
Once the puppies are back home fine, I'll get less hassle from the ladies of the house.
McCarthy,
Yes, sir.
Come on in.
This morning she had a little bit of blood she spit up, so I'm concerned for him. You know, he can do a lot of damage, you know, 240-pound guy versus a 10-pound puppy.
So who's the brave one?
The yellow one's the one that got stepped on.
Oh, and his tail is wagging like crazy. But the nice thing is that these puppies, all the bones are still kind of cartilage, so they can stand an awful lot without breaking. Well, color is good. He's not bleeding inside. That's good. They're tough. But it's all cartilage. There's no ribs that broke at all. You know, there is some contusion in that lung. What I'm going to do, I'm going to vaccinate and worm him, and I'm going to give you antibiotics to take home. What's that for? I don't either. But sometimes you have to have them. When you have 2 puppies like this, the one will shoot behind you, the other one shoots underneath you, and before you know it, you either fall over them or you step on them. I want to see you back in 3 weeks.
You gotta get your shot.
Why do I need my shot?
You don't need your shot.
I'm relieved. I imagine I'll get a phone call probably any minute. I'll have to explain that everything's okay. What's that saying, happy wife, happy life?
10 right now.
Oh.
There's another wife and mother this morning who's also waiting on some good news.
So Charles came up with this idea that we should get one of these electric fireplaces.
Nothing like a little fake fire.
He decided to set it up, and we turned it on, and expecting to see the lights go and the fire flaming and the heat coming out. Didn't do anything. A blue fuse.
All right.
Hey. Dad. Hey, where's the fuse box? Mom's stupid fireplace blew the fuse.
Of course, I got blamed for it.
Suddenly, Charles's great idea has become Mom's terrible one.
Beautiful. See? But we can't run the heater because it will blow the fuse.
But that's the whole purpose. I don't want decoration.
It's a beautiful decoration. It looks like it's under the TV. You got the TV, you got the
I
fireplace.
know, but I want heat.
Meanwhile, Dr. Brenda makes her way across icy roads to respond to an emergency.
This morning we got called out to one of the Amish farms. Jacob Hirschberger hasn't been having any problems until this year. This year he's lost a couple calves and is very concerned, so he's called to have us come out and take a look at the calves.
Last night I found one I couldn't get up, and he wouldn't drink. I found him dead this morning. I don't know what it is.
2 weeks ago, Jacob had 7 calves. Only 5 are still alive. The last calf to die has been left out for Dr. Brenda to examine. Its body has frozen solid.
I just want to check. I want to open up the chest cavity and look at the lungs. So we did do a necropsy on one of the dead calves. This is a sort of a post-mortem look at the calf, just to see if we could see what might be going on. And the baby's lungs look good. Nicely inflated. There's nothing in the chest cavity.
So it wouldn't have been pneumonia?
No, I don't think it's a pneumonia.
If Dr. Brenda can't figure out what's plaguing these calves, Jacob may lose his entire herd before spring.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I think your chances are pretty slim.
I don't know what it is.
Several of Jacob Hirschberger's calves have died. Dr. Brenda is performing a necropsy to figure out what's wrong before it's too late for the remaining newborns.
I'm looking at the internal organs. There's no body fat anywhere in here. It's just gone. There should be fat around the kidneys, and there's not.
So that's what it is. They've been burning too much energy.
Yeah, they're using too much energy trying to stay warm. They literally could just get cold and die. Young animals can be more susceptible to the cold weather. They've got less body reserves to fight with.
Jacob had the best intentions by following a special feeding plan for his calves, but it may have backfired in these record cold temperatures.
Other farmers been telling me, and I seen it myself, you start them out slower, you get less scours.
Right.
For baby calves, the runs, or scours, can be life-threatening.
There's a lot of concern with the owners about scours, which is diarrhea from any source. He was trying to give them small amounts of food to keep them from scouring, and we're just not getting enough food into them.
It's time to come up with a new feeding plan so the 5 remaining calves have a chance at surviving the polar weather.
This one and this back one are, I noticed they are having a little bit of problem too getting up.
Yeah, so we got to get some more groceries in them, so that's the biggest thing. With the extreme temperatures we've been having, we need to increase their milk volume by at least half, if not close to twice what they normally get. Let's treat all 5 of them with antibiotics, a long-lasting antibiotic shot for each one of them, and then get them started on more food. Nobody likes their shots, do they? We're gonna put the calves on an antibiotic as preventative to keep them from getting scours while we're trying to get their feeding schedule changed. All right, you're done.
Dr. Brenda's prognosis is guarded. Even with more food, some of Jacob's calves might not make it.
They're right on the wire. He may lose at least one more of these calves that are here today, but I think that the other ones that are here, he's got a fairly good chance if we can get some more groceries in them for them to do okay. The best thing that could happen to these calves, besides giving them more milk, is that spring would finally arrive here in Michigan.
The next morning, dawn breaks at a bitter 8 degrees. It's another record-setting low as Dr. Pohl and his son Charles head out on the morning farm calls.
Please, no.
Take as much as you want. This polar vortex is not going away, but we can take advantage of it.
So what do you think about ice fishing this weekend?
We got a call from my brother-in-law. He wanted to go ice fishing with me, and I thought, why not bring Dad along as well?
We don't have a shanty, so it's gonna be cold.
But you sit on your butt.
No, you sit on the chair.
No.
You can sit on your butt. I'm gonna bring a fan.
Ice fishing for me is a waste of time. It would be easy to put a stick of dynamite underneath the ice and get them all.
For now, weekend plans will have to wait. A heifer at Clay Knob Farm needs immediate attention.
Okay, where is she? In here?
Charles, you got a cool hat like that for me?
You want one? Most farmers in Michigan try not to have any heifers having a calf in February.
Woof, woof, incoming!
February normally is the coldest month of the year, except this year it's still cold and we're in the middle of March.
The polar vortex, with its harsh winds, is especially hard on the pregnant cows.
When did she freshen? So these heifers that freshening many times have a lot of edema in the udder. In other words, it swells up with a lot of fluids. And yes, they are outside, so sometimes there's so much swelling in the end of the teats that it freezes. Okay, see this here? The tip of the tit actually is hard. She froze one tip of one teat.
Frozen tit, if you will. In this case, the teat has become useless. They can't milk out, it's plugged up.
Dale is anxious to get his cow back to milking and producing for the farm, but the frostbitten tissue is beyond repair.
We had two options, either see how much will fall off on its own or take it off right now.
If they leave it be, the teat may become susceptible to infection. But if they aren't careful cutting away the dead tissue, the cow could permanently lose muscle control and constantly leak valuable milk.
We've had them go both ways where they could possibly be damaged goods, or sometimes, hey, we've had these cows like this and not have any problems.
To cut or not to cut? That is the question.
Now, he looks at me, I look at him.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun, dun.
I don't know if I would cut the end off. If I cut the end off, it'll leak.
Yep.
And if I don't cut the end off, she'll get mastitis.
See that, it's an all-day sucker.
Dr. Pohl makes the final call. He's going to risk it and cut off the tip of the teat.
See what happens? Are you ready, Dale?
Yeah, baby. Careful, she might jump sideways, gentlemen.
Cows will kick when you do this procedure sometimes.
Here we go, girl.
Okay, ready? There it is. Holy crap! If I cut the end off, it'll leak. See what happens?
Dale Leonard's dairy cow has a painful, frostbitten teat on her udder. Doc decides there's no other choice but to cut it off.
What I use actually is an emasculator, put it right above the dead tissue and basically leave all the healthy tissue intact. There it is. What is draining out now is milk. I'm done already. Yeah, you want to chew on it? See, that's actually frozen tissue. That's why she didn't kick when I cut it off either.
Feels like a day-old
What
hot
about her?
dog. The outer skin was kind of crispy and the inner skin was like soft and gooey.
It's a clean cut. This cow should be back to milking in the parlor by the end of the week.
This one will heal up good. Probably dilate it for 1 or 2 days, spray it, and by that time she'll start milking on it. Hopefully it'll heal up good, especially if the weather turns warm a little bit, it'll heal up fast. Okay, that looks good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, next time you want to cut one off, I won't tail her up. We'll see what happens.
Across the snow-covered county, Dr. Pohl already has another case waiting.
Kim Preston has a ram that is having foot trouble, so we're gonna see what's going on.
Morning, how are you?
Good, you need a hat.
We've got approximately 50 in our flock right now. They're the rarest sheep in America.
Kim just doesn't have sheep, she has mutant sheep.
They are called a Romdale, California. No, Romdale, California mutant. Romdale, California the Fettigated. What is that Fettigated from?
They're actually Romdale, California variegate mutant sheep.
Okay.
This specially bred ram has a problem hoof.
Okay, that is an injury from way up there. Then he got foundered one time. Hold still, big boy, I know it hurts. Just get with the nippers.
This ram's suffering from founder. It's something that can affect almost any animal with a hoof.
Hold still, big guy. The points of the hoofs were broken off, and it's just like you that has a crack in your nail, and you start using it, it hurts like the dickens. Yeah, that hurts! So the best way is just take all that loose hoof, cut it off, and then put a bandage on, and let the hoof cover it again.
Founder is often caused by overfeeding too rich of foods.
Tell Kim she's overfeeding them.
I will.
What was the deal with his foot?
Tell her. Ever heard of foundering?
No, yeah, whoops. Whoops. I think you've told me to quit feeding so much before, Doctor.
Did I?
I think
I don't remember that.
I think a couple times.
Doctor's orders. Kim's stash of treats has got to go.
I love my animals. I actually probably over-care for them compared to a lot of farms, but it's probably something I'll have to keep doing. Thanks, Doc Cole.
Okay, see ya.
Dr. Brenda is on her own urgent farm call this morning. This time at McConnell Dairy, where a new mother is in dire trouble.
This cow gave birth to her calf last night. She didn't have any problems having the calf. However, when they went out this morning to get her up to get her milked, she cannot get up.
I came up here this morning to vaccinate that other calf, and that's how I found her.
Hey there, Mama. As soon as I walked into the calving pen here at McConnell's, I noticed the way the cow was laying, the way her neck was kind of in an S-shaped curve. This is a pretty typical presentation for a cow that's down with milk fever. Come on, push. Come on. Now don't squish anybody. Come on, try again. That was a kind of a pitiful try. Come on. Milk fever is a term we use to describe a syndrome of calcium or phosphorus deficiency. We don't see this problem with every cow that calves, but this is a very common problem with fresh cows. It happens as the cow is starting to come into milk.
This cow needs to be treated right away, or she might die.
The lack of calcium itself can be life-threatening to the cow. It's needed for the heart to beat. We're going to start an IV treatment of calcium. This will replace the low calcium she has and should help her be able to get up.
It's not just the mom's life at stake. Her newborn calf is also relying on her to get better.
Oh, you're back again, aren't you? I wish your mom would clean you up some. You're kind of gross. Her mother's not been feeling very well, so she's not cleaned her very well, so she's still covered in some of the birthing fluids. But the calf's ready for some milk.
With the hungry calf anxiously waiting to feed, Dr. Brenda tries again to get its mother back on her feet.
Come on. So we've made a few attempts to get this cow up by, hollering at her, trying to encourage her to get up. Try again, cow.
The longer she's down, the more danger there is to her nervous system.
The weight of her can damage nerves to the legs. Come on, Mama, let's go. So that we need to get her up on her feet as soon as possible. You're not even really trying. Come on, push.
A new mom at McConnell Dairy is down with milk fever as her little newborn waits close by. If she doesn't get back on her feet soon, she risks permanent injury.
Come on, try.
She still seemed quite weak.
Well, let's give her one more bottle. We're gonna give her an additional bottle of calcium just to help raise that level a little bit more. At that point, I've given her all I want to give.
Dr. Brenda must strike a delicate balance. Too much calcium too quickly, and the cow could suffer a heart attack.
I know she's had the 2, but I want to give her another bottle of the mixed calcium phosphorus because she's so weak yet. Come on, cow, let's go.
Dr. Brenda makes one last attempt to get the cow back on her feet. so she can start nursing her hungry calf.
Just haven't got enough push in the back end yet. Come on, try. All right, we're done. She can't have anything more anyway.
For now, there's nothing more she can do without risking an overdose.
I'm hoping that what will happen for this cow is within the next hour or two, she'll get up on her own. Just give her time for the calcium to work. But right now, we just have to wait.
Back at the clinic, Zoe the ferret is snuggling her owner for much needed warmth.
Zoe is 3 years old. She's one of my favorite pets, and she's losing her fur. What is that? Hmm?
Zoe seems to be suffering from a mysterious condition. A cold snap can be very unforgiving when you only have bare skin.
You'll freeze out here.
Man, we don't see ferrets much anymore. What's going on?
Almost a month ago, she's started itching.
Losing hair.
So I give
What do you feed her?
the regular ferret food.
She looks like me almost, you know? A little gray on the edges and bald on top. Ellison is bringing in her ferret named Zoe, and basically it's hairless. Could be that it is what you call endocrine. Some of the glands that are not good. The skin is complete normal. There's no sign of any infection in the skin, no sign of parasites. He just is bald like I am, and that's fine. I have nothing against being bald, except in the ferret, it's not normal. So this has to be either age or nutritional. I've never seen a bald one, to be honest.
She's my fourth one, and I've never had hair loss problems.
Not like that. Try just regular vitamins. 1 drop for her a day is good enough, because it's very concentrated.
Okay.
Nice guy, well behaved.
Thank you.
But I'll get the vitamins for you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, that's some amazing news.
Yes.
Until she gets some fuzz growing back.
It's not as bad as we thought it was.
The polar vortex is going to be pretty harried for poor Zoe.
I'm gonna get her some more treats and go home and get her warm, because she's probably freezing by now.
I need your body heat.
When you're too big for the waiting room inside,
It just got 30 degrees warmer.
a cozy horse trailer outside will do just fine.
I'll make you feel better, I promise. You behave. Lacey's kind of a prankster. Cherub, she's the little kid hopped up on too much sugar. Lacey!
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Kathy Lamore is bringing in 2 horses. So what's going on here? Bad?
Lacey is losing weight, and she's having a hard time chewing grain.
These horses are losing weight, so we'll check them over. Let's open up a garage door and stick our head in the garage. The weather is nasty. Thank goodness we have a garage here.
Standing out in pasture all day, horses rely on their body fat to keep them warm.
Yeah, she's done.
Losing even a few pounds can be dangerous.
Bad winter for all these animals outside. And these are older horses, and they are very thin. You got another frickin' 25-year-old horse or more.
Nuh-uh, she's 21.
Doc Pole has a hunch.
Oh, sweetie.
Why this old horse can't crunch.
Oh.
He pulls out a file to smooth out or float Lacey's rough teeth.
When a horse has points on his teeth, he bites his tongue. I hate to hit you, but it hurts.
Just fix my horse, I don't care.
Of course, the horse doesn't know that he's got bad teeth, so he thinks there's something in this mouthful of hay that he's chewing on, so he spits it out. That sounds good.
Lacey's already lost 100 pounds. She can't afford to lose any more.
Away she goes. Next.
After this visit, she should get back to chowing down and eating like a horse.
Hi, sweetie.
Next, Doc has to figure out why Lacey's pal Cherub isn't eating either.
She stinks in the mouth.
At 13 years old, this mare's teeth should be in good shape.
You smell that?
It only takes one whiff for Dr. Pole to smell big trouble.
There it is. Holy Moses. She stinks in the mouth. You smell that?
The Lamourie ladies are worried. Their feisty mare, Cherub, is losing weight.
You need help with her?
Yeah?
Dr. Pole quickly sniffed out the problem.
I'm coming. Give me your problem, child.
Conducting a dental exam on 800-pound Cherub isn't going to be as easy as open up and say, ah.
There. She has some kind of infection in the teeth. I can smell it. There's a bad smell in there. You can, smell the pus. There's a bad tooth in there. But I haven't found it yet.
In a horse, even minor dental disease can spiral into a deadly case of choke or colic.
You always have to be the problem child, don't you?
Yeah, but we love her the most.
To solve the mystery, Doc follows the scent.
See, here. See, there's not many teeth left. Look at this, how close to the gums they are already. She has bad teeth for only being that young. Sometimes a younger horse that has sharp points on the teeth, they are actually worse off than an older horse that grinds good. You see those black spots in there? That's what you smell. A horse's tooth will crack. You get a little bit of infection around the gum line, and that really stinks.
Again, Dr. Pole needs to file down the sharp teeth. He wants to prevent any more from cracking.
Floating a horse's teeth is not painful, but the sound is terrible because the sound just rattles your brain. Okay, done.
In the coming days, the Tooth Fairy should probably keep her eye on Cherub. Alicia already has a special reward in mind.
I think Cherub and I are definitely going home and gonna have some hot cocoa. It's one of her favorite things.
Saturday morning finally arrives. No more farm calls for Doc Pole. He's gone fishing, right in his own backyard.
My son-in-law, Greg, came over, so Charles and I and Greg are going ice fishing. Morning. Hey, Kyle, how are you?
Who better to call to help us dig a hole than Kyle Fox, Mr. Ice Fisherman himself?
Okay.
Dr. Pole's been coming to our family farm ever since I was a baby.
If you fall through the ice, that's okay. If we don't have to dig a hole.
We're gonna be roughing it up 150 yards from a warm cup of coffee.
Start clearing the spot.
Greg, you wanna hold this for a second? Well, thanks. There are two types of augers. Oh, shoot. We tried the hand auger for just about 30 seconds before the thing broke.
That's why we brought the big one.
And then we just broke out the power auger.
Okay, let's see if we can catch it. I can't wait for that fish to bite. Well, it's a beautiful day for fishing, though. They said that at 2:30 in the afternoon, the fish would be biting, so we'll see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got one. I got one.
Jerk it up.
All right.
Easy.
Bring
I don't
it,
want
bring it. Oh, right.
There he is.
Oh.
There he is.
It's nice to get together and just relax and fish.
Yeah, I think I got one.
Okay, bring him up. Bring him up.
The biggest one.
Oh, come on. Charles, get him. Don't let him just hang.
One after another. It was like popcorn.
Okay, guys.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Clean them up, eat them up.
So we caught them, so Mom cleans them, right?
Yeah, huh?
I always say, whoever catches them cleans them.
Let's go, guys.
Hey, Charles,
Yeah.
bad day fishing is better than a good day working.
There's some truth to that.